All right, Shalom, Kal Halal Yahweh, Bahasham Yadash, double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace salutations unto the hopeful elect. I am the brother Yahweh, and Lord willing, coming through you with the Spirit. The topic of tonight's show will be entitled The Willie Lynch Letter. All right? The Willie Lynch Letter. All right? For those of you who may not know who Willie Lynch was, you're going to find out real shortly. All right? I got inspired to work on this topic, Lord willing. All right? Because I first heard of it years ago for this program that brothers gave on cable TV when they were on 1 West 125th Street. All right, and then just recently on YouTube, there were these other brothers on their channel that mentioned this character by the name of Willie Lynch. All right, and he was basically a British, a so-called British slave owner who proposed the idea of controlling the forefathers of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right? He was a so-called British slave owner that proposed this idea on how to keep you Negroes in check and the rest of you tribes, all right? That's why it's called the Willie Lynch letter, because this devil made a proposal, all right, unto slave owners down south in Virginia, all right, and this was hundreds of years ago, on how to keep you Negroes, all right, and the rest of you tribes exactly where you at to this very day, all right, and so the brothers on YouTube that I just mentioned, they brought this subject up on this infamous letter, as I call it. All right, and through the Spirit, they mention it, but they did not read the whole thing out to you people out there, and that's what, Lord willing, I'm getting ready to do this evening. All right, the Willie Lynch letter is basically a book. All right. It is still yet available out there for those of you that might be interested. Look it up on Amazon or on Google, any other bookstore online. All right. And I think it's being sold pretty cheap too. So it shouldn't be too hard to get. But what I was able to obtain, all right, was a download for first page of that book, all right, which I have it right here, all right, and basically I'm going to start reading out this, Lord willing, I'm going to start reading this out loud real shortly. As you can see, the headline right there, this is a downloaded, all right, a downloaded version of it. This is only the first page. All right, I believe it's the first page. All right, let's just scroll it up to the beginning. All right. Let me see if I could try scrolling to the big. All right, there we go. The Willie Lynch letter. All right, once again, Willie Lynch was a proud devil slave owner. All right, and he made a proposition to slave owners in Virginia way back in 1712, all right, on basically how to keep you so-called Negroes in check to this very day, all right. The proposals that he made, the methods that he came up with, all right, have been in effect to this very day in so-called 2022. All right. And okay, and only very few of our people have woken up to this truth. All right, only very few of our people, all right, have accepted have accepted the Hebrew prophets, beginning with great millstone on down, have accepted whom their true Savior is, which is the Lord Yahweh Shai. All right, but there's still a good 2/3 of you that just don't want to buy into any of this thing. All right, and that's why the Bible also says that 2/3 of you have to go, because you're not going to accept this truth. And what I'm getting to read here would be another good example why. All right. So, Lord willing, I'm going to start reading this now. All right, it's the whole page that I'm going to read, and then, Lord willing, I'll just follow up with two Bible precepts. All right, and Lord willing, I hope this show gets to be pretty edifying, because not many of you out there are not many of you out there. For some of y'all that might already be watching this, you're not all of you are aware of this part of your history. All right, you're not aware that this is not in my opinion, a very well known part of you so-called Negroes' history. All right, this is not a very well known part of the history of y'all forefathers. All right, you follow me? You understand what I'm saying? That they have done what they have tried, not to let this somehow circulate too widespread. You know what I'm saying? All right, as much as they did everything they could to keep people like me, all right, and you're beginning with the prophets of great millstone on down, to ever find out the exact truth about ourselves. All right, so they almost got away with it. They almost got away with these methods for hundreds of years, man. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to start reading this here, and for those of you that might be watching, that take notes and pay very close attention. All right, so I'm going to begin with the headline, and bold black ink, the Willie Lynch letter, the making of a slave. Okay, I'm going to keep reading from on down. This speech was delivered by Willie Lynch on the bank of the James River in the colony of Virginia in 1712. Lynch was a British slave owner in the West Indies. He was invited to the colony of Virginia in 1712 to teach his methods to slave owners there. The term lynching is derived from his last name. So there you go. All right. That's where the very infamous name lynching came from. All right. Of where many of many so-called Negroes have been hanged. All right. Primarily down south. All right, hanged up on a tree with a rope around the neck. All right, they named them type of killings in this devil's honor. All right, lynching. All right, that's where the word lynching derived from. All right, so you can understand. So this letter was this this letter, all right, was written by this devil, all right, and on December 25th, 1712. Look at that. Right on so-called Christmas, right on so-called Christmas Day. All right, Christmas Day of 1712. All right, and I'm going to start right here. All right, it starts off by saying, Gentlemen, I greet you here on the bank of the James River in the year of our Lord 1712. First, I shall thank you, the gentlemen of the colony of Virginia, for bringing me here. I am here to help you solve some of your problems with slaves. Your invitation reached me on my modest plantation in the West Indies, where I have experimented with some of the newest and still the oldest methods for control of slaves. Ancient Rome would envy us if my program is implemented. All right, so I'm going to try and further on up, further on down. All right, okay, the next paragraph. As our boat sailed south on the James River, named for our illustrious king, whose version of the Bible which we cherish. Yeah, right, okay. I saw enough to know that your problem is not unique. While Rome used cords of wood as crosses for standing human bodies along its highways in great numbers, you are here using the tree and the rope on occasions. I caught the whiff of a dead slave hanging from a tree a couple miles back. You are not only losing valuable stock by hangings, you are having uprisings. Slaves are running away. Your crops are sometimes left in the fields too long for maximum profit. You suffer occasional fires. Your animals are killed. I'm going to read the next paragraph. It goes on to say, Gentlemen, you know what your problems are. I do not need to elaborate. I am here to enumerate your problems. I am here, I am Salakia. I am not here to enumerate your problems. I am here to introduce you to a method of solving them. In my bag here, I have a foolproof method for controlling your black slaves. I guarantee every one of you that if installed correctly, it will control the slaves for at least 300 years. All right? Y'all follow me? Y'all heard that, right? 300 years. What year are we in now? All right? You understand what I'm saying? All right, so I'm going to keep reading on down. Salakia. It goes on to say, my method is simple. Any member of your family or your overseer can use it. I have outlined a number of differences among the slaves and make the differences bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control. All right? Y'all heard that, right? I am reading the words that this so-called white devil, all right, implemented in his letter here. He says that he used fear, distrust, and envy for control. All right, fear, distrust, and envy for control. Now those three elements yet still exist among many of you so-called Negroes, all right, and Latinos of all these tribes to this very day, all right. The so-called Negro suffers from fear, still suffers from fear of this so-called white man, all right. He still suffers from distrust, and he still suffers from envy, all right. The so-called Negro was made to be selfish in this white man society so you can understand. All right? And that still runs in the blood and veins and the heart of many of you people of so-called color out there today, man. All right? Many of you can't stand to see another brother prosper. You can't see another brother trying at least trying to make ends meet. This goes for both you men and you women of you Negroes and Latinos out there, man. All right. So I'm gonna keep reading. All right. Everything that you suffer today really is the result of this letter right here. Everything that you're doing, everything that you're yet doing to this very day, all right? You're out there still killing yourselves, all right? You're out there still committing adultery and doing all these wicked things, all right, that have brought only more diversity among our people, is the result of this fucking letter here so you can understand and get it through your thick brain, all right? So I'm going to keep reading on. Salakia. Once again, I use fear, distrust, and envy for control. All right. He used those three factors, all right, to the forefathers of you so called Negroes. Now, listen, these methods have worked on my modest plantation in the West Indies, and it will work throughout the South. All right. Now, all right, the West Indies, and he said that it would work throughout the South. All right, but in my humble opinion, all right, as time passed, and you know how certain of these slaves, kept running away or moved to different plantations, all right, or would or would intermarry some of them, all right, or move to other places, all right, or would just simply be transported. This method right here, this letter that I'm trying to read to y'all, all right, this letter, went on to tarnish the minds of many so-called Negroes, all right, not only in North America, all right, but I bet all throughout South America, all throughout the West Indies, all right, all throughout the Caribbean islands, all right, including Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic as well, man. All right. Okay, and Dominican Republic and Haiti, all right. What are those two countries are really synonymous with what? So-called black people, much like Jamaica and the Bahamas, all right. So some of these other islands out there, Trinidad, all right. Uh, some of these slaves, all right, got pushed into all these areas as well, man. All right. So I'm gonna keep reading on. All right. Okay. So he goes on to say, these methods have worked on my modest plantation in the West Indies, and it will work throughout the South. Take this simple little list. Take this simple little list of differences and think about them. On top of my list is age, but it's there only because it starts with an A. The second is color or shade. There is intelligence, size, sex, size of plantations, and status on plantations, attitude of owners, whether the slaves live in the valley, on the hill, east, west, north, south. All right? Y'all heard that, right? It's basically it's basically what I said a little while ago, that this thing went on to spread, everywhere. All right? Have fine hair, coarse hair, or is tall or short. Now that you have a list of differences, I shall give you an outline of action. But before that, I shall assure you that distrust is stronger than trust, and envy stronger than adulation, respect, or admiration. The black slaves, after receiving this indoctrination, shall carry on and will become self refueling and self generating for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. All right? Y'all heard that, right? Y'all heard that, right? So I'm going to keep reading on. Don't forget, you must pitch the old black male versus the young black male, and the young black male against the old black male. You must use the dark-skinned slaves versus the light-skinned slaves, and the light-skinned slaves versus the dark-skinned slaves. Distrust Salakia, and the light-skinned slaves versus the dark-skinned slaves. You must use the female versus the male. Y'all heard that, right? What is our community mainly known for? All right, how do our women mainly behave? How do most of your women mainly behave? All right, the so-called Negro women. All right, the so-called Puerto Rican, his Dominican and Hispanic women. All right, they are mainly known for what? They are known for what? All right, out there committing adultery, being promiscuous with all kind of men. All right, not being respectful to to not being respectful to her husband. All right, which is you so-called colored man that might be watching. You understand what I'm saying? All right. So who really generated all this crap? All right. Who was really at the forefront of of our women acting and behaving the way they do, all right, and treating us men of color like shit? Who's really at the forefront of all this? I'm reading it right here in this damn fucking letter, y'all. For those of y'all that might be watching, pay close attention. All right? Pay close attention, man. This is a part of your history that's not very well known. This letter right here. This letter right here is really the cause of why most of you still act the way you do. All right? So I'm going to keep reading on. All right? You must use female versus the male, and the male versus the female. You must also Salakia. You must also have you white servants and overseers distrust all blacks. It is necessary that your slaves trust and depend on us. All right? Y'all heard that, right? It is necessary that your slaves trust and depend on us. So from way back then, this crafty minded devil, all right, concocted a perfect idea according to his fiendish mind, all right, according to his fiendish mind, okay, on how to keep you so-called Negroes in check for many hundreds of years. All right? And I'm reading it right here, man. All right? And these are some of the methods that he implemented. All right? And to this very day, some of those methods are yet still in effect. They are yet still in effect. Even in the 21st century, all right, they are yet still in effect. Okay? Okay? I'm gonna read that again. It is necessary that your slaves trust and depend on us. They must love, respect, and trust only us. All right, so right there, the devil is implying, all right, to these other slave masses, all right, that the Negro slaves, all right, should only love and respect the so-called white race, all right, that they become, that they become more like, yes, massa, yes, massa, yes, massa, yes, massa. I love you, massa. I'll do anything you say, massa. Yes, massa. All right, that they would keep having this yes, massa mentality. All right, to love and respect the so-called white race, white supremacy at its finest. All right, and that is still applied even to this very day. All right, whom does the Negro woman, uh, whom does the Negro and Hispanic woman mostly want as the man of her life? The so-called white man. Okay, whom do most women of the other nations still want and desire? The so-called white man. Okay, to this very day, most of you Negroes still suffer from what's called Stockholm syndrome. All right, many of y'all have Stockholm syndrome. All right, and undying love for your slave master as a result of this here letter. As a result of this fucking letter. All right. It's why many of y'all still have this yes, massa mentality. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? All right? Salak. All right, now, I'm going to keep reading on. So he goes on to say, they must love, respect, and trust only us. All right? The so called white race, so you can understand. Gentlemen, these kids are your keys to control. Salakia. These kids are your keys to control. Use them. Have your wives and children use them. Never miss an opportunity. If used intensely for 1 year, the slaves themselves will remain perpetually distrustful of each other. Thank you, gentlemen. All right. So there you go now. All right. All right, so I'm ready to move on again. I thought I zoom in a little more on this Willie Lynch letter right here. So for those of you that may have poor eyesight or you have to wear glasses, I thought I would try and zoom in a little more to make the words more, to make the words more apparent and more visible. All right, so there you go in living color. That there, the Willie Lynch letter, the making of a slave. Okay, now I'm not gonna read the whole thing again. I just did. What I'm doing now is just going over it in a more close-up form. All right, so that those of you that might be watching get to take notes, whatever. All right. Okay, let me just try and scroll down further. All right. So I just read aloud most of the words said by this Willie Lynch devil that existed on the planet Earth hundreds of years ago. And he concocted this masterful idea on how to keep our people in check, all right, for many hundreds of years. And to this very day, all right, to this very day, our people, beginning with the tribe of Judah, the so-called Negroes, our people are still pretty much self-destructive today, all right, living, living very dysfunctional and disorganized lives, all right, living in ghettos, all right, living in poverty, all right, being the how should I put it, the last hired and first fired. You understand what I'm saying? And undergoing all, you know, our people to this day in general are negative and self-destructive, mainly because of this letter. All right, mainly because of this letter. I just read you the methods that this devil implied. All right, to the other slave owners. All right, on how to keep you Negroes in check. All right, how to keep the majority of our people in check. All right, that this is why the so-called Negro woman is known for her rebellious attitude and her hatred towards the so-called black man, has really derived, like I just said so, from this here letter. The rest of our people distrust and hate each other to this very day as a result of this here letter. All right, plain and simple. That's that bottom line. That's why I chose to name this topic simply the Willie Lynch letter. All right, because out of this letter, this letter is really, when you analyze and take a closer look at it, it really served as a foundation help um, um, how to help keep our people down, how to help keep our people down to this very day, man. All right, and only few of us have awakened. Those of us in this truth, only few of our people have been blessed by the Most High Himself to awake out of this gross darkness proposed by this devil right here, by this so-called white man in 1712. All right. Now, that was his proposal. All right. Now, and let's make a slave. All right. There's a few more uh, sentences here, paragraphs, but I'm only going to read the last one, the one at the very bottom, okay, where it says, "Let us make a slave." Okay, for those of you that might be watching, all right, you should see clearly, since I was able to enlarge and zoom in on the letter a little better. All right, so right there it goes on to say, let us make a slave. What do we need? First of all, we need a black nigger man, a pregnant nigger woman, and her baby, nigger boy. Second, we will use the same basic principle that we use in breaking a horse, combined with some more sustaining factors. What we do with horses is that we break them from one form of life to another. That is, we reduce them from their natural state in nature, whereas nature provides them with the natural capacity to take care of their offspring. We break that natural stream of independence from them and thereby create a dependency status so that we may be able, all right, and I'm leaving it right there, all right. You should get the point by now, all right. They came up with this very perfect plan that started hundreds of years ago, way before many of us were ever even born. Okay? And this is why this country, this so called free country, to this day suffers prominently, all right, from racism, injustice, all right? This is why all these problems are yet still persist today, all right? And like I just read it in the letter, all right? And part part of those methods, part of that wicked proposal on behalf of this Willie Lynch character to help keep our people down. I read I read y'all the letter already, all right, where he goes on to say, let's pitch the old Negro man against the young Negro man. Let's pitch the Negro woman against the Negro man. All right, and against their own children. All right, that's one of the reasons why amongst our people, beginning with the Negroes, there have been so many abortions throughout the years. All right, abortion, abortion, abortion. All right, black on black crime. All right, the so-called Negro woman killing off her babies. All right, I don't want this child. I don't need this child. All right, and the child gets killed. All right, you understand what I'm saying? This is why, as a result of this letter, it's why to this day you have had your drive-by shootings. All right, Negroes killing Negroes, Hispanics killing Hispanics. You know, just one divide and conquer after the other, man. All right, that's what this letter was all about. All right, so that's the whole point I wanted to make on this letter. All right, and Lord willing, I'm gonna read just two scriptures in the Bible that Salakia, that Lord willing, regardless of these demons here making me cough and shit, all right, will coincide with this topic and this letter, all right, and they go hand in hand. It's part of biblical prophecy. Everything that's happened to our people to this very day, past, present, and future, all right, is because of biblical prophecy, man. All right. Now, before I start with the scriptures, all right, I thought I look up this devil's name, not only the name but his face on the damn internet. All right, I was searching through Google Images. All right, and Lord willing, if the thing might pop up real shortly, here we go. So I went to Google Images. All right. And so this is what most brothers do when it comes to wanting to do research and stuff and be more aware of their surroundings, right? So I typed this this man's name right here, Willie Lynch, all right? And that appears to be him right there. All right? That appears to be him, all right? According to this image right here, that appears to be that appears to be what the man himself looked like. All right, that is the devil right there. That's the so-called white man that invented, that concocted this great divide and conquer idea amongst our people to keep you Negroes in check. That's him right there. All right, that has got to be him. All right. Now I'm gonna click on it to get a closer look. All right. Get a closer look at your former slave master. All right. The devil who concocted this whole idea, man. All right. Okay. So let's see if we can get a better look and close up of this character here before, Lord willing, I start reading the scriptures. All right. Okay. A carta de Willie Lynch. That those words are not in English. All right. This is some other type of language right here. All right. But it's funny. The American, the so-called American internet is trying to hide this devil's face right here. All right. But that's him. All right. Look at him. Take a good look. Take a good look at this devil here, man. That was Willie Lynch right there. All right. That was him. That was that so-called British devil, so-called British slave owner. All right. Because of him, it's why you Negroes still act and do what you do to this very fucking day, man. All right. Because of that devil right there. All right. Take a good close look at the face of this coward. All right. Because that's all he really was at the end of the day, a coward. All right. He did what he did out of cowardness, man. Because the so-called white race, deep down inside, is really afraid of you so-called Negroes, man. They know that once you get that lion spirit on you, all right, ain't no stopping. All right, ain't no stopping, man. Remember that old from the early '80s, this old R&B single, "Ain't No Stopping Us Now" by McFadden and Whitehead. All right, ain't no stopping, no stopping, no stopping. You understand what I'm saying? There's gonna come a time real shortly where there ain't gonna be no stopping no more. All right? Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move, man. We're on the move. Lord willing, we're on our way up. All right? We're on my way up, man. And this man's spirit must be covered with shame right now, because he knows that he's getting ready to be a slave his damn self, man. And the same way he concocted this masterful plan on how to keep you Negroes in check is going to be applied to him and his kind real fucking shortly. All right? Real fucking shortly. All right? And in my not too distant future, he knows that's what's going to happen to him, y'all. He knows that. Take a good look at that face. He knows it. He knows it, and he's scared. He's afraid. He's afraid of being rude. All right? He's afraid of being ruled by a nigger. And that's exactly what's going to happen. You understand what I'm saying? All right? This man already knows that the Most High told him when he died, look, you're going to be a slave in my world. And those you had as your slaves will become your masters. Plain and simple, man. You can see the fear in his face. For those of you that have a spiritual eye, you know what I'm talking about. You see that this man's face is full of fear right now. He knows he's got it coming to him. All right. So there you go. That hey, Willie Lynch, y'all. What was Willie Lynch? All right. There you go. That's it now. All right. All right. Now, Lord willing, let me close this window here now. All right. Okay. And I'm going to start with the book of Wisdom of Solomon. All right. Okay. Yeah, I got the window ready. I'm just trying to pop it up now. All right. All right, Salakia. Um, the devil is always busy. All right, like the old saying goes. All right, so spirits are mad. All right, as the demons are mad. That I came up with this kind of topic tonight. You know what I'm saying? Now they're trying to screw shit up. All right, they're trying to screw shit up. All right, here we go now. All right, and the name of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, I rebuke these demons, man. They're always at work. They're always at fucking work. That's why brothers like beginning with Gabar from Great Millstone and the Apostle Rakah who lives in Texas now. That's why brothers like that always be encouraging, all right, for us never to cease praying. All right, you always gotta pray, man. You always gotta pray. Say a prayer, a book of Psalms like Psalms 91 or 121, which is very good before going out there, man. All right, while we're in the home, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, man, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, man. All right. Right now, the spirits of demons are pissed off. They're pissed off that I exposed this Willie Lynch character and even showed his face to y'all. And now they're trying to cause a major disturbance here, man. All right, yeah, but page unresponsive. Right. This is really the work of their doing. You understand what I'm saying? All right. So I thought I'd start with Wisdom of Solomon. All right. I'm going to read a few verses off of it. All right. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 10. It reads this: Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reference the ancient gray hairs of the aged. All right. So as you can see, this scripture does coincide with the words, with the it does coincide with the proposals made by that Willie Lynch letter, all right, by that devil, all right, on how to keep our people poor, oppressed and down in this society, all right. So once again, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reference the ancient gray hairs of the age. All right? So mark my words, to this very day, all right, not only are those methods being applied from that letter, all right, those same methods are being used by the banking elite, all right, by Rothschild and Company, all right, with everything that they've been doing, been trying to do, all right, on how to further oppress you people out there with this new world order that's coming, that they want to try and establish. All right, that's hey, it all really stems from that letter. All right, it all really stems from that, man. All right, next verse. All right, let me see if I can get the next verse. All right. All right, Salak. Next verse. It reads this: Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. All right? So, what do you suppose the meaning of that is? All right? Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. All right? So that's exactly how Willie Lynch and all these slave owners, all the way up to today's modern day slave masters. All right? Today's modern day slave masters are whom? Rothschild and Company. Rothschild, Rockefeller, Getty, all right, the third team or fourth team of America's or the world's richest families, the banking elite, all right, are the slave masters of all you damn people out there, man. All right, this is why they're doing what they're doing. This is why they want to implement this new world order. They are the modern day Willie Lynch, so you can understand. All right, and they're using the very same methods on how to keep our people down as that damn letter, man. All right, plain and simple. Right here, the Bible, the scripture here is describing the word feeble. What does feeble mean? All right, very weak, insufficient. All right, so someone that's weak, that's sickly, that cannot defend his or herself. All right, so that's how these elites look at our people. All right, as being nothing but feeble, as being nothing but damn sheeple, man. All right, that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. All right, so we as a people, though the Lord may still value us, we are nothing. All right, that goes for any one of y'all that might be watching. We are nothing to these banking elites, man. We are less than nothing. This is why they're trying to do what they're trying to do. All right. Okay, let's see if I can get the next verse. All right. Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 12. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous. Y'all hear that, right? Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objecting to our infamy, the transgressings of our education. And what are the transgressings of their education? The lies, all the lies that they have thought and have indoctrinated the masses of the people with in this society, man. Lies, lies behind lies, one lie after the other. That's how this whole place got established, man. And they got a problem with, with the prophets of the Most High, beginning with Great Millstone, rebuking them at the gates, all right, and telling them to their face, all right, all their wrongdoings. That's what the scripture here is saying, all right. That's what the scripture here is saying, all right. Now, I'm gonna go from there now, all right. Let's go to Blue Letter Bible, all right. And I'm gonna finish there with Psalms the 83rd chapter, all right. Okay, Psalms the 83rd chapter. Lord willing, I'm going to be looking that up real shortly and finish off with that. All right. All right. Psalms the 83rd chapter. All right. It says in bold print above it, God implored to confound his enemies. Okay. That this is a psalm. All right. A psalm or psalm of Asaph. All right. Okay. Salakia. It goes on to say, keep not thou silence, O Most High. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. All right. Now, once again, what's the topic of tonight's show? What did I just read about a little while ago? I read y'all that might be watching about that letter, right? Was not that in itself a crafty counsel? All right. This so-called white man, throughout his existence, that's what he applies to our people. Crafty counsel on how to destroy, all right, how to keep down and destroy you people, all right. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Salakia. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. All right. Okay. And like Willie Lynch in that letter. All right. That's how the rest of the slave masters did. All right. By denying the so-called Negro the right to educate himself, denying the right to read, especially that Bible, man. For some reason, they did not want y'all Negroes to learn to even read the Bible back then. All right. Any so-called Negro or a slave that got caught reading the Bible, that was punishable, man. That was an offense unto these slave masters. Why? Because they already knew the truth about y'all, but where you really came from. And this is why they try to keep most of y'all from even getting a proper education, man. All right? Okay, not knowing anything about yourselves. Uh, Most of y'all, I bet, would still call yourselves African American. I'm African, African American, Latino American, all right, so-called Indian American, and so on. All right. It says here, let us cut them off from being a nation of people, not race, not color, all right, not ethnicity, a nation of people. They did not want us to be that, all right? Okay, that the name of Israel, all right, Yasha Allah in Hebrew, may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, of Moab and the Hagarenes, all right? Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, okay? Asser is also joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot. All right. So all these other heathen nations, all right, that stood in confederacy, all right, with next to Edom, the so-called white men among them have been the Ishmaelites, which are known today as the so-called Arabs, all right, the Philistines and the inhabitants of Tyre, all right, if I'm not mistaken, are the so-called Africans today, all right, right, the so-called Africans, that's right, another nation of people, all right, just because one nation of people may have dark skin does not necessarily mean that they are of the same race, so you can understand, all right, so the Africans, though most of them are known for their dark skin, have really they are not of the same DNA as Israel, as the so-called African American. Period. All right. So they joined forces with the Arabs. All right, and bringing the first shipment of slaves over here. All right, and kidnapping, all right, you so-called Negroes from parts of Africa and other parts of the world, all right, and bring over here into slavery, all right. So verse 9 goes on to say, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. All right. For those of you that already may know, or for those of you that may not really know, dung is basically the biblical word for shit. All right. Or doo-doo. Okay. Plain and simple. All right. Verse 11. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Seb, yea, all their princes as Seba and Salmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. All my power, make them like a wheel as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid of thy storm. Okay, so the Most High has already been doing. He's already been doing some of that. All right. That's why you see these hurricanes one after the other at almost every single year attack parts of this white man's precious South down there in Florida and Carolina, Georgia. All right, the Tennessee, all these southern, all these once proud southern Confederate states, all right, the Most High has been punishing with these storms, all right? These hurricanes, these twisters, tornadoes, and so on, all right? Verse 16, fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou whose name alone is Yahweh art the most high over all the earth. All right. So with that, I hope this show was edifying. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakat Kadash. Shalom.